Michael James Pratt, co-owner of what used to be a major porn site called Girls Do Porn, was finally caught and tracked down in Spain last month after being listed on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list back in September of 2022. So he didn't last very long out there. The New Zealand native is facing a string of charges including sex trafficking and production of child pornography stemming from recruiting young adult women to take part in sex in what the FBI says were acts by force, fraud, and coercion, and then even uploading the videos onto the internet. The videos generated Pratt and the website over $17 million in revenue between the years of 2012 and 2019. Pratt and his team would post fake ads on the internet for modeling jobs to lure these women in and then convince them while they're there to partake in producing an adult film. Now, I've been on this since day one, as way back to episode number 47 of the Bolic on September 15th. Excuse me for the lame graphics and awful HD display. Now, I told you I was going to keep you in the loop when the FBI's most wanted list was updated, and here we are. Michael James Pratt is the newest addition to the dishonorable list today, as he is wanted for committing sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, production of child pornography, sex trafficking of a minor by force, and a whole lot of other charges. Also allegedly lied to these women, telling them the videos would not be distributed before uploading the videos to his own website. The website would then also distribute those videos onto more general and well-known websites that garnered the majority of their worldwide attention, such as on Pornhub, which gets about 2.3 billion site visits each year. The absolute worst part about all of this is something more underlying and way more evil than you can see at first glance. The most important aspect of recovering from a traumatic experience for these victims, especially a sexually based one, really is simply knowing the trauma is over. That's where the healing has a chance to start. In this scenario, those hundreds of women now have to live with their trauma reoccurring, as those videos being downloaded millions of times between 2012 and 2019 are never leaving the internet. For them, the video is the trauma. Those videos are like a death sentence for anybody to ever have a peaceful social life again, and that's probably the most horrible consequence for anyone to experience. The real crime is the unlimited reminder of the most awful experience of your life. So I will be sure to keep you in the loop on any major ongoings with Pratt or when the victims have their chance to speak. Now, if you're excited for Valentine's Day or absolutely dreading it, George gives us his top 3 picks for things to do. Then over to Wildlife News, we chat about scientists tracking a monstrous endangered stingray, and later on in the show, I introduce you to the latest execution that took place out in Texas. So, number 70, the Bullock, let's do it.
So why isn't it getting national attention as well?
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
No one is talking about this.
Journalist George time, here we go. George, what's going on, big man?
You can call me Romeo, Mr. Daniel, because it's Valentine's Day next week, and it's time for Big George over here to showcase how well I can treat my lady. You know?
Big George. That's the first time I'm hearing that new nickname.
Well, time to slick my hair back.
Oh, wow.
Put on my best suit and make it a special night for my special lady.
Is that so? You get all fancy smancy there for Valentine's Day there, huh? Well, why don't you share some of your ideas for people watching since you're such a Valentine's Day expert?
Ideas. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm, we're ready.
And these can all be done on any budget, by the way. Number 1, start a tradition. Create a specialty cocktail and cook a special meal together that you only enjoy exclusively on Valentine's Day each year.
What's your idea of a special meal, George? Making a Lunchable?
Hey, don't you talk bad about Lunchables, Mr. Daniel?
I'm not. I like
yummy.
them too.
It's just not a Valentine's Day dinner.
I'm sorry.
Anyways,
keep going.
Before I was so rudely interrupted.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, do a wine and chocolate tasting. And if possible, do it outside with a small fire.
All right, little romance there. I like that. But what about for the people that want to stay away from alcohol?
If you let me get to number 3, Mr. Daniel,
right,
always
my
cut me
bad.
off. And number 3 is for the serious. Treat it like a real holiday. Play hooky and take the day off from work. There won't be any lines wherever you go, so no need for reservations. And do something you would both enjoy.
That's something new. I like that. It's a little mischief, which is nice on Valentine's Day, I guess. Which of the 3 are you going to be doing?
We're going to do number 1 and number 3. We're each going to call out sick right before work. And
Whoa, you're calling out sick on the 14th? We're supposed to be having that meeting with the board that day, though.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Whoa.
Sorry. I'm calling out, Daniel. We're going to take the day off, hit the beach, come back, and take a nice long nap, cook a very special meal together, and then afterwards, well, that's none of your business, Mr. Daniel.
Yeah, you don't have to go any further there. I'm good, I get it.
I also might, because we might have a long night, I might be a little late to work the next morning.
What?
I hope that's okay.
All right, how about this? Take Tuesday, you're off.
That sounds fair.
Wednesday, half day, okay?
Thanks. You know, maybe if you took some notes from me, you'd be having a hot, sexy Valentine's Day too. What are you going to be doing on Valentine's Day, Mr. Daniel?
I'm going to be finding your freaking replacement. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Wow. Sounds like someone sounds a little grouchy.
Not grouchy, just...
I'll cheer you up. I got one for you.
What?
Okay? How did the phone propose?
I don't know.
With a ring. See you next week, Mr. Daniel.
I hope you have a very nice Valentine's Day and time for a very intimidating but endangered stingray. So, wildlife news, let's do it. Over to Mozambique now, as 11 small-eyed stingrays are now being tracked and analyzed, which according to National Geographic, is the first time in history scientists have been able to do so. The small-eye species is the world's biggest and most rare stingray, and since they are so hard to find, are actually considered to be a critically endangered species. The only small thing about them, though, are their eyes, that are about the size of an M&M. As they can span up to 10 feet long and over 8 feet wide, making them look like a smaller version of like a flappy whale. Their stingers are as big as about a human-sized arm, and they can swim hundreds of miles in one day and go as deep as 650 feet below water. This is why scientists believe they have such small eyes, because down that deep in the ocean, it's so dark that eyes are pretty much worthless anyway. Speaking of other giant sea creatures, out to Maryland now, as during a hike with her father and sister, Molly Sampson of Maryland found a 5-inch long tooth belonging to a megalodon. A megalodon is a prehistoric and now extinct species dating back at least 3.6 million years ago. The megalodon is something you could only imagine exists out of a Hollywood film. This extinct monster of a species is considered to be one of the most powerful predators to have ever lived on planet Earth. Estimates of the megalodon have it reaching up to 75 feet in length. Imagine a sea creature that's almost as long as a basketball court. Now, what makes news is that it's something that entails a noteworthy recent event. And for the news that you generally don't see anywhere on your timelines, silent stories in 60 seconds. So let's do it. Starting in France, as they have seized a war-sized arsenal of weapons in the Gulf of Aden that sailed out of Iran and was headed to Yemen's Houthi rebels. Seizing thousands of weapons, over 500,000 rounds of ammo, and 20 tank-guided missiles, Iran has denied it was their doing. Now, if you didn't know, Yemen has been in a civil war since 2014, and Iran has been criticized for helping supply the Houthi rebels, who are against any Western or European influence in the country. Now, over into Texas now, as Wesley Ruiz was executed in a state penitentiary out in Huntsville. Ruiz shot and killed a Dallas police officer named Mark Nix 16 years ago in 2007 after a high-speed chase. Officer Nix, who was 33 years old at the time, was a U.S. Navy veteran of Operation Desert Storm and was engaged to be married at the time of his death. Wesley was the second inmate to be put to death in Texas this year so far, and there are 7 more scheduled to take place in the state this year. Now, we love amazing stories and also the organizations behind them. So this is not only Crown of the Week here, but hopefully also a future guest on the podcast. So, let's do it. Crown of the Week goes out to Pastor Brooks and his nonprofit called Project Hood, which has now raised over $28.5 million for a community center to help reshape Chicago's South Side. Pastor Brooks has been raising money this past year with the goal of raising $35 million to build the community center that will, and in their own words, implement impactful community programs and continue their fight against violence. Now, if you don't remember who Pastor Brooks is, as part of his fundraising campaign last year, he spent 345 days on a Chicago rooftop, even during the bitter Chicago cold winter, to raise awareness of their $35 million goal. Project Hood stands for Helping Others Obtain Destiny. The center is gauged to be an 89,000 square foot leadership and economic opportunity center at 66th and King Drive, which is located right across the street from Pastor Brooks' New Beginnings Church. It's set to have classrooms, community rooms, restaurants, a gym, and a swimming pool. Though a couple $1 million shy of his mark, they have already broken ground with construction. They hope to reach their final amount by the 2 years' time it will take to finish the project. Now, if you watch this show week after week, you'll realize why it's investments like this in the South Side of Chicago that are so important. And if this is your first time watching the show, you can join us as we now head into Chicago to give you some insight as to why.
To a developing story out of Chicago where police now say 14 people were shot.
Shots fired 147 Maple Street. Requesting backup.
All units, stand by.
Into Chicago now, as this weekend was just as bad as last weekend, with 19 people being shot in total across the city, with 3 being fatal, and the victims being between 16 and 39 years old. Now, if you love news like this that you didn't know about, please subscribe so you can keep getting this week after week. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you want to chat. Let me know of any stories that I missed out on or which country you think I should start paying more attention to. Also, look out for the next podcast, and I will see you then.